Hey you guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Jennifer. I am so happy to have you back. Oh my goodness, how the heck are you? How the heck are you today? I'm doing very well. How are you? I already asked you how you're doing. I'm manic. I'm manic today. I had quite a bit of coffee this morning. So you never know what you're going to get, okay? You never know what you're going to get here. Kind of like Meghan's Instagram page. It's like Forrest's box of chocolates, okay? You never know what you're going to get. So let's talk about it. Let's just get right into it. The last video I made, the last coffee chat video I made on my channel, it was a long one. It was like an hour and a half. But I talked about a lot of things on it, and the view count wasn't that great. So if you haven't caught it yet, I'm going to link it because I talk about a lot of stuff. And one of the topics was controversial, crazy, demonic, but yeah, it was demonic, but it's very important that I get that out there. So if you haven't caught that, please watch it. But in the part of the coffee chat where I was talking about Meghan, this is what I said. But I did notice on her Meghan Instagram, because I'm a psycho like that, I see that there's about 15 days now, as it stands right now, day of this filming, between when she last vomited all over us with those weirdo pictures of her and her husband dancing like loons at their wedding reception. So it's been about a 2-week period in between, when she dropped those and now. So I'm going to say within the next couple of days, get ready. She's going to be serving something else up on her Meghan Instagram, hot and fresh for us. Can't wait for that. And I know it's going to be when I'm editing this video. She's going to pull some kind of stunt. And she always does that. The days leading up to and the day that I film, she doesn't do anything. She's radio silent. And then when I'm editing, I look at my phone and the news and, there she is again. And I'm like, Of course. Now that's going to have to be in the next video when we do the constant, updates on this psychotic woman. What did I tell you? It was less than 24 hours of upload, and then this is what she comes out with. I should have known that daughter's birthday was coming up, but here we are. Happy 5th birthday, okay? This is their dream girl. Their dream girl who we've never seen, who there really is no legit proof that she was born of the body, documented the way that William and Catherine's children's are. But, if there is indeed a real child, or 2 children rather, Archie and Lily, it's not their fault. None of this is their fault. But this is what we're getting for her 5th birthday. And let's just talk about the photo, okay? On its face, if Harry and Meghan were just a normal couple, it would be a very sweet photo. Okay. Sweet, yet a bit odd. Sweet in the sense that, oh yeah, it's just like a candid little moment. And if it was in a bank of photos that, showed more of the child, then it would just be like a sweet little moment. But of course, this is the moment she shows to us because Meghan herself is front and center and the child's face is obscured as per usual. Harry, oh my gosh, she did not care that she posted a photo of him looking hair challenged, okay? He's not a member of the hair club for men, that is evident. Now, on its face, who cares? Who cares about that? Go on with your bad bald self. I don't care. But he has taken pains in the past to airbrush photos and make it look like he has more hair than he does in this photo. And as we've talked about in the past, she definitely takes the time to digitally alter all these photos that she's in and that, her so-called children are in. So why not take the time to just give the man a little bit more of, some carpet padding up there? But she didn't. That could be a whole loaded issue in of itself. But it's just boring. Let's just call it what it is. This is a boring photo. It's a boring photo. The second photo is even more boring. It looks like it's a photo from just like a stock picture that you would see at Hobby Lobby or something. It's all redundant and boring. What is she doing? Show them or don't show them. There is a respectable way to show the children. And here's the thing, the backlash, the massive amount of backlash that this woman has gotten just in the last week in posting this photo and how you juxtapose it with this speech that she made, 2 weeks ago now in Geneva about keeping children safe online. The hypocrisy, it's like Doc Holliday in Tombstone when he tells Wyatt Earp, my hypocrisy knows no bounds. But the difference is that Doc Holliday recognizes that character flaw in himself. And he's admitting it to Wyatt Earp while on his deathbed, saying, as I lay here dying, I'm just this walking hypocritical version of myself. I don't know if we'll ever get this woman to that point. So she released, after this photo, she released a statement to Newsweek, one of her mouthpiece rags. This is the statement. I'm sure you've heard it. Her statement from her spokesperson, because she's addressing the criticism. Mind you, the criticism and the backlash that she has told us on several occasions dating back to 2019, all the way up to that Bloomberg interview she did in 2025. Remember when she told us she doesn't look at what's said about her online, nor does she care. She shields herself from that. So if that is indeed the case, why this statement? Why do you have to clap back and address the criticism? But let's read it. The Duchess has always been clear that there is a distinction between sharing moments from her life and exposing her children to public scrutiny. By obscuring their faces, she is demonstrating the very principle she advocates for, giving children privacy, agency, and protection in an increasingly digital world. Far from being contradictory, because she has to justify herself. Far from being contradictory, by concealing their faces, she is actually reflecting the message she delivered in Geneva, that parents can choose to share family experiences while still taking deliberate steps to protect identities, privacy, and digital footprint. What exactly is she modeling to other parents? Don't you think that obscuring their faces in of itself is ridiculous? It's ridiculous because they are in line to the British throne. Just the fact that she's taking time to obscure their faces is an absurdity on its face. Then why are they in line? It's like Queen Elizabeth often said, I have to be seen to be believed. These two supposed children that reside in Montecito are in line to the throne. So why obscure their faces? People have to see them to believe them. That is why there's so much criticism and controversy surrounding these children in the first place, is because she's obscuring them. It's just fueling all the speculation, all the tinfoil hat people, all the controversy, all the surrogacy rumors, blah, 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 blah. Okay? It's stupid that she's even obscuring their faces. They're in line to the throne. I've said this before. She could show their faces in a dignified manner, much the way William and Catherine show their children. At least once a year, we get a beautiful, full-facing, twinkling-eye, bright-eyed, beautiful photo of a child to celebrate their birthday so that the public knows, they exist. Isn't this wonderful? She could do the same with her children and then just not show them at all during the rest of the year, but at least stop all of these disgusting rumors. And they are disgusting because these rumors involve children. Just because she obscures and blurs their faces doesn't mean that she's not inviting unwanted attention. And that's exactly what she's doing. And moreover, we all know how often this woman doom scrolls, and wants to see what people are saying about her. People in her staff have said that about them, that all they did, they were fixated. They said during that Australia tour that was one of the things that got them so upset during the tour, was doom scrolling every day after all their outings, her and Harry, what people were saying about them. Okay, so it's extremely unlikely that she doesn't know what people are saying about these children, all the pregnancy rumors, all the surrogacy rumors surrounding them. And just the fact that she's continuing to pump them out is just circulating all of this. And it's opening the door for her children to be just subject to all this unwarranted, hateful online speculation. And it's unfair to them, especially as they get older. So what if you blot their face? That's not going to stop anyone from talking about them, analyzing them, or criticizing her or them. And there are people that criticize them in hateful ways. People are sick. All these photos, they're weird. They're highly staged. They're oddly cropped. It's just, as these kids get older, all it's going to do is just keep them permanently in the public eye and subject to all this unfair scrutiny, And this statement, all it is a corporate shield. Let's call it what it is. It's a paid for PR statement that's operating as a shield for her, that she could wrap around herself and feel like, okay, well, I've explained myself, so I am therefore justified. No, I'm sorry. True privacy would mean keeping them offline entirely. Period. Her strategy in releasing this statement, it's not about protecting her kids from a digital world, okay? It's about maintaining absolute control over their public image and using them for her own personal branding on her own terms. And this reminds me of that interview she did coming up on a year ago. Remember the one from August 25? The one that Emily Chung interviewed her for, the Bloomberg one? I was remembering back to a certain segment when she was talking about how we all talk about her as a caricature. And, we've created this caricature of her, but it's not really her. It has nothing to do with her. And it's hate-fueled. And it's all dedicated to generating clicks and monetizing the hate, essentially. And I thought it was a good time to replay that little segment, to revisit it so we could discuss. So to set you up here, she's talking to Emily about criticism that she had received for season 1 of her Netflix show With Love, Meghan. Now, as we all know, season 2 was released in August 2025. And she, at the time, was saying throughout the interview, when asked, that her and Netflix, they were still very, very in deep with their partnership. They were the single and sole investor in her as ever business venture. Everyone loves the show. It ties in to her basically clapping back and responding to her critics. But then again, it's the ultimate in hypocrisy because she's told us on numerous occasions that she doesn't listen to or pay attention to said criticism. So if that's the case, then why do you feel the need to address it? She talks a good game. She can spin a really good yarn. She could give an interview where she really just gives it to us straight. She won't do that. It's just always these plays on words. She's always stiff. Her body language is stilted. It's always weird. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about in this clip. So here we go.
How did that land for you?
I think I knew who I was trying to meet. And so if you know your audience, you know your demographic, well, they love the show. And my partners love the show. And that's why we have a season 2 and why we have more fun coming.
Yeah, and that's all you got. You got that and one more Christmas special because I think it was filmed at the same time. But she always framed it as if season 1 was so popular, that's why she got a season 2. Well, we all know what happened there, don't we?
So I think oftentimes the negative voices, are they saying negative things and then secretly going home and making single skillet spaghetti? Possibly.
No, we're not.
And that's all right. They're trying to pay their bills, and that's for them to sort out if they're comfortable doing it at someone else's detriment. From my standpoint, the intention of the show.
So many things here, so many things. So we're comfortable criticizing her online and doing it to her detriment because we're trying to, in her opinion, monetize the hateful criticism. Well, Meghan, one could argue that you did the exact same thing, trash talking your family for 6 hours on Netflix in your Harry and Meghan documentary, did you not? It's not like you went online and defended yourself and told your story and told about how you were almost driven to unalive yourself and your unborn child, that you suffered R in the UK, very hateful R press, the British press, they were so awful, all the things that made your life a living hell. But she's a champion for women and girls. She's speaking out against all these things. It's not like they took a significant portion of the money that they made in that Netflix deal and donated it to causes that empowered women and girls. Fights are all, no, they're pocketing all of it. They're airing their grievances, and they're basically talking trash about a family who they know will not respond back because they have more dignity. They don't have time to engage in this back and forth with her. She knows it, and she monetized her grievances. So don't point the finger now and try to say that reasoned criticism is hate. She never accepts any type of reasoned criticism and says, you know what, I never thought about that, but I can see why people think that. But she doesn't even counter it. She can counter it and still disagree with it, but she doesn't even do that. But she still monetized it, didn't she? So don't come for us and say that because we point out things that we don't like, that we're bad, hateful, awful people. Because what she is doing is dangerous. She's divisive, and she is adding fuel to the fire. The UK and America right now is really divided, and they're divided along racial lines primarily. And it's gotten worse over the last 20 or so odd years. I don't see genuine emotion or anything real coming from her. And this is why, because she will not listen to anybody. She won't listen to anybody. Okay, but here we go.
From my standpoint, the intention of the show was to share more of myself, to share tips that I love in my life, and to have fun.
But there's this take that you're glorifying homemaking or glorifying trad wives.
Oh, okay. Just watch Meghan's face. She gets so angry in her response. So Ellen said, there's criticism that you are glorifying trad wives. I have a problem with that statement, and I talked about it. I did a whole deep dive into this specific interview last summer when it first came out. I will link it for you. But we have prioritized this toxic feminism to the point where the breakdown of the family, it's been so devastating for our society. These broken homes produce broken children. And when you had stable families and when you had mothers at home with their children, we didn't see everything we see now in today's society, did we? Yes, of course, society's always been, human nature, human frailty is always going to produce evil in the world, but it's just multiplied with the breakdown of the family. So I hate that question. But anyway, so Emily says, well, yeah, the criticism has been that your show has been glorifying trad wives. Look at Meghan's reaction. She is so pissed.
Oh, really? Oh, really? Oh, really? That feels odd to me.
Like her eye twitches. Her eye twitched. Did you notice how her eye twitched?
Yeah, how do you respond to that?
That feels odd to me. I hadn't heard that. But I'm really unapologetic about the fact that though, would it be lovely to go and churn your own butter? Sure, maybe.
No one's asking you to, okay? I've been a stay-at-home mom since my kids were born. I did do some things like freelance makeup artistry, and now going, I would say, 40 hours a week on my YouTube channel. Now I've been doing that in the last 2 years or so, but I homeschooled my kids for 5 years. I've been busy, okay? Moms that stay at home are not churning butter, okay? I'm not Amish. And, all props to the Amish who churn their own butter. God bless them. But what is she talking about? Just because you stay at home or you choose to, or you're like me in a fortunate position where you have a husband that has a job that allows you to do that. Because I fully recognize that there's a lot of homes that have to be dual income because they have no other choice. But what is she talking about? Churn butter. It's unbelievable.
I don't have time for that.
Nobody does. Meghan.
Time for that. And I don't think you get an extra gold star if you do that. So for me, a lot of it is how do you show up thoughtfully? I don't have time to make dinner every night. I wish I did.
Let's call it what it is. She doesn't make dinner any night, okay? Do you really think that this woman makes dinner any night of the week? Okay? Please. You know what? I'm fortunate enough that my mom lives with us. She's still very spry and she likes to cook dinner. And my husband loves to cook. She's just, she showed us in that show that she really doesn't know how to cook. She arranges things on plates. That's what she does. Like, say if Harry gave an interview where he said, Meghan doesn't really cook a lot. I do most of the cooking and I enjoy it. If someone were to come to Meghan and say, oh, we heard that you don't cook in your house, that Harry does all the cooking, she would be so upset because she would think that somehow that shows that she's less than or that she's lacking in something, because that's how uncomfortable she is with who she really is. If someone were to come to me and say, oh, your mom and your husband, they do a lot of the cooking or most of the cooking in your house, how do you feel about that? I would be like, yeah, I'm completely blessed. I'm completely blessed. We all do different things. I'm more into house cleaning and everything else I'm doing, and they love to cook, and I'm just like, have at it. I mean, I'm blessed. Thank the Lord. You know, that's probably not always going to be the case. My mom's not always going to be around and with us, and I'll assume the responsibility again, you know, since she's been with us. She likes to do it, and it keeps her active. When you're older, the more things that you do that you enjoy, it keeps you young in mind and body. But my point is, sorry, you guys, my point is that anything that she perceives as kind of making her look less than, she gets really combative and angry. That's why she reacted the way she did when Emily asked her that trad wife question. That's why she's reacting like, well, I don't have time to churn butter. And no one's asking you to churn butter, Meghan. You know what I mean? She's so defensive. And that's why we're getting what we're getting. She's defensive, and she is very aware of the criticism. That's why she's releasing statements to Newsweek. She's aware of the criticism, but she's also hell-bent on being a walking contradiction because she knows it garners clicks and attention. So when she says in this interview that people that criticize her are hateful and evil and just monetize our criticism, she did the same exact thing. So stop pointing fingers and stop being so damn defensive. You know what I mean?
I don't have time for that. I'm great at ordering takeout and plating it beautifully. And look, and yes, do I have small things where even on my kids' plates, I wipe the side of the plate? Someone might go, oh my gosh, that's so ridiculous.
She's even having to justify the whole takeout thing by talking about how she plates it beautifully and wipes the plates down so that it looks beautiful for her kids. I'll tell you what, her kids don't care that it looks beautiful, okay? They probably care if mommy sits down at the table and just talks to them while they eat. Who knows what she's doing? Who knows? It's ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
She said ridiculous right when I said it. I love it.
For me, that's 2 seconds where I get to present something that looks a little bit more beautiful.
She has to pretty it up. She has to pretty it up because she thinks in her mind that because she orders takeout every night that that's making her look less than. So she has to talk about, well, I wipe the plate or I present it beautifully. And for me, that shows love. It's just stop making excuses. Who cares? Nobody cares if you order takeout every night. You could still be the best mom in the universe and order takeout every night. Some of the best moms in the universe can't cook a lick. All they do is reheat. And they're still great moms. They're still there for their kids physically, emotionally, in every way possible. She's so scared of any type of realness. It's so scary. It's really a crisis of self. It's a crisis of conscience. And she wonders why no one relates to her. She's so off-putting in this stiffness, in this defensiveness. And then she counters it by being the most hypocritical person you ever want to think of. She'll stand at a podium in Geneva and preach to us that, you know, everything that's happening to our kids, oh my gosh, government has to step in because we as parents don't have any wherewithal or the intellectual capacity to install parental controls on our devices and help our kids. I talked about this when I broke down her whole speech. It's like, what? What? Oh, Lord, help us all. In Jesus' name.
I have absolutely no judgment on trad wives. If that works for them, then
Well, good. I'm glad you don't. You know she does, though, because these feminists like her, these toxic feminists, they always look down at a woman that wants to stay home with her children. And that's just the way it is. Sorry, but that's just what it is.
they should do it. But for me, I think there is an in-between. And joy for me comes...
Of course there's an in-between. Of course there's an in-between. I've stayed at home with my kids since they were born. Now, mind you, I had health considerations. I had a 1.5-year cancer battle, just adjusting and getting used to that. It was horrible. It was awful. We've moved overseas. I've lived in a whole bunch of different places. Now I have my elderly mom with us. Like, everyone's got their things. Everyone's got their things. Everyone has an in-between. What is she talking about? She's so out of touch. She is spouting out these points that you would find in like a survey course in the late 90s, like talking points. It's so unbelievably unrelatable, all of it. Okay? Oftentimes people find themselves where they find themselves, and it's all in the in-between. So what is she talking about? So now what do we have? We have this photo, this 5th birthday photo. And everyone that criticizes her is monetizing the hate for clicks so that we can, I guess, get rich on all of this. Please. Okay. These posts, she's not sharing sweet family moments just 'cause. No. Okay. These posts serve as a funnel to funnel back to As Ever and to funnel back to her platforms like One Off. Okay. She's sharing these personal updates, these family glimpses, because it generates public intrigue. And this intrigue and this curiosity and this criticism and this speculation, it's all conversion. It's conversion metrics. It intentionally drives users to click through to her profile and be like, what is the crazy woman up to today? Maybe she'll get lucky enough to have people click over to As Ever, although Newsweek has told us that it's gotten really bad, that her metrics for that website, I believe now it's at an all-time low. So in April 2026, she got a little over 60K views to her website. Really bad. And that was US alone. Okay. That's not talking about the UK, but that's significant because she's not international with that company yet. She only ships to the US. You cannot drive and thrive in a business with those types of metrics, period. She knows that. That's why she amps up and ramps up these pictures, these weird cropped, blurred face pictures of her kids, or, back of the head pics. She's intentionally trying to drive users to click through to this failing business, this failing website. And she's actively marketing and trying to sell this supposed lifestyle of hers. But we've talked about it also. The whole brand is obscure. It's weird. It doesn't make any sense. It's all do as I say, not as I monetize. That's all it is. It's just high engagement clickbait. She wants to boost her algorithm metrics because the higher the engagement numbers go, she feels like, her digital storefronts, this one-off, her website, it all becomes more valuable. All she's doing is trading her children's so-called privacy for her brand metrics and equity. That's all it is. That's all it is. And she knows it. She knows it and we know it. Okay? And when she talks about not knowing or caring what's being said about her, it's a blatant lie. Because do you remember when she had a Shop My page? She launched it in late March. I believe it was March 24th of 2025. She officially launched that Shop My storefront. And she was promoting all these affiliate links to her millions of followers. And she had fashion and she had jewelry. And then a day later, she added a dedicated beauty section. And at the time, she had about, 25 or 30 hair, skin, and nail products. And in April 2025, I'll look up the date. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that my video had anything to do with it, but there was a lot of criticism. But I'm just showing you and telling you this because of my experience. So I did this kind of get ready with me video in my bathroom where I was putting on makeup and I was talking about her jam empire. And I was also talking about how she had that beauty shelf on her Shop My. And as a licensed esthetician of over 20 years, I love skin, I love makeup, I love all of it. And I found it just very lacking and I found it very lazy because at the time she was just posting or trying to affiliate market beauty products that she used on her wedding day. And I was saying, like, what? Like, who cares about what you used on your wedding day? It's been 6-7 years at that point. Why don't you show us stuff you're using today? Why don't you do makeup tutorials for us? Why don't you just talk to us like we're normal people? Make quick little Instagram stories. Talk about, oh, here's a product I like and here's why. Don't just throw beauty products up and expect us to get excited. People don't want to just get excited about that. They want to know why you use it, why you like it, what ingredients are good, blah, blah, all of it. Just talk to us like we're normal people. So I did that video. And then I want to say, and I published that video in April of 25. A month or so after that, the entire beauty section got erased. It was removed. So all she had was just all the fashion stuff. And then the final wiping of the entire Shop My page happened on September 3rd, 2025. About a week or so after this Bloomberg interview. And in this Bloomberg interview, she was talking about the Shop My page. The interviewer, Emily Chung, threw it up on the screen and was telling the viewer about, oh, she's got this page where she shares her loves and her fashion. These are her curated collections or whatever it was. Meghan's always justified it, monetizing her clothes, because she's giving brand name recognition to lesser known up and coming brands that otherwise wouldn't have any attention on them. That's always been the way that she's justified it. But just like she alters these Shop My pages behind the scenes to control this little commercial narrative of hers, it's the same thing she's doing with all this face obscuring as a moving target to control the privacy narrative surrounding these kids. But all the while, she stays heavily active in these online spaces, the ones that she's warning us all about, like she did in that Geneva speech. It's ridiculous. It's sick. It's a sick cycle. She's literally up there in rage baiting. She really is. And this is all done on purpose, okay? It's all done on purpose, and it's all done to tick us off and get us clicking and get us talking, because she wants the metrics. But here's the thing that I want to tell you guys to make you feel better about all of this. I learned this a long time ago when I first started to want to build my online website where I was doing beauty consulting and things. It's called vanity metrics, and you could get tons of subscribers on YouTube. You could get tons of followers on Instagram. You could get views on YouTube. You can get impressions on Instagram. But at the end of the day, when someone like Meghan, who has a business that she's trying to promote and make millions and be successful, the views and the followers are just vanity metrics because they're not converting. They're not converting. And what's happening is that all the views and all the impressions that she's getting by posting these pictures constantly of her kids, obscuring them, back of the head, all this stuff, it's just producing vanity metrics. It's not really translating into dollars in her business. The figures that Newsweek is producing shows that. And don't worry, give it a week, give it 2 weeks, give it a month. She'll be clapping back on what Newsweek has been reporting about how low her website views are. So just think about that. She might be getting a lot of eyeballs on her Instagram grid, but it's not translating into money for her business. And thank the Lord, because what she's been doing lately with that As Ever business is really disturbing, especially on her As Ever page, posting that candle and highlighting the fact that, oh, this candle is in honor of my daughter's birthday. If that's not officially merching these children and taking away their privacy for your own financial gain, I don't know what is. It's deeply, deeply disturbing. So don't buy any of this, you guys. Don't buy any of it. And I'll play you another clip to illustrate what I'm talking about.
Do you feel like it's hard to sort of show your whole self?
I waffle with some of my choices before I make them. I'm generally very decisive, but social media is a great barometer for this for me, because putting out a video of myself 9 months pregnant was a really big choice.
It was really gross and not befitting of a titled woman, a duchess.
But I also wanted people to see themselves in my story and our story.
She gained about 1 million followers from that stunt. That's what that was all about, you guys.
And to be able to show that with all the noise that might happen in the world on a day-to-day basis, real life is still happening behind the scenes. Really real life.
But you put that out there and some people, like, they tear it apart.
Yeah, that's right. We do. Because when you say, when you scream for years that you want privacy, you want privacy, you want privacy, there's nothing about that video that's private. Absolutely nothing. You're about to give birth. How do you think Lily's going to feel? If there is indeed a Lily, allegedly. But how do you think that child is going to feel knowing that her mom did that? I'll tell you, as a parent of two 13-year-olds who are constantly embarrassed, they're at that age now where, Mom, you're so embarrassing. Mom, you're so embarrassing. She's going to hate the fact that Meghan did that. Mark my words. She's going to be so angry and embarrassed. And when she finds out that she was kept from the Markle side of the family, as well as her father's side of the family, and kept from the whole tradition and legacy and monarchy, when she finds out that she was kept from that, and that this is the behavior her mother was engaging in and chose to engage in instead of staying in the UK and being dignified, she's going to be really, really upset. So yes, people did pick it apart because it contradicted everything that she said that she wanted. And she didn't want to provide a photo of her child to the British press, remember? She didn't want to do that, but then she's going to show us how she tried to induce labor. Please.
I'm sure they did. I don't know. But I also protect myself from seeing that.
It's been interesting.
No, you don't. And of course, you knew exactly what people were saying. You knew exactly what people said. And you wanted it and you feed off of it. You're using your children, Meghan, for financial gain. So please stop criticizing people and calling them haters when they talk about how they don't like the monetization of the monarchy.
Preparing for this interview because every day you search for your name and there's like 1,000 different news stories about 1,000 different things.
Yes.
And so...
But
I'm sure this Emily Chung is a really, really nice lady. She's a sweet, cute looking little lady there, but I'm sorry. So annoying. You cannot tell me that as a journalist, she was completely unaware of this woman's reputation and what she's all about. No real substantial questions of any kind in this interview at all. Emily, let's break it down for you, Emily, okay? Emily, there's 1,000 different stories and 1,000 different opinions because she invites it. She's inviting all of this. She's doing it on purpose, Emily. I don't know if you know, but I'm going to break it down for you and all the seats in the back. She's doing it on purpose, Emily. It's what she wants, Emily. Okay? If she was really concerned about privacy and wanting to protect her children in the digital world, we wouldn't know about them at all. Or she would do it in a dignified manner, like what I said earlier. She would release a beautiful portrait face forward so we could see the child once a year so that we would indeed know that they are legit and they belong in the line of succession. End of story. She knows she's unliked. She knows she's divisive. She knows that people are sick of her. But she has to capitalize on her connection to the monarchy because that's all she has left. And the key to all of it are these so-called kids. So that's why there's 1,000 different stories circulating about her at any given time. Okay, Emily, please. Emily, you seem like a really nice lady, Emily. Can we please get it together?
I guess the distinction there is those people don't know me and they're not talking about me. And that's a really hard place to come to terms with. Yeah. But that's the truth. So if you can really...
We don't know her. You're right, Meghan. We don't know you. We know you by your actions. And that's the most important thing. You reveal yourself to us through your actions, what you say, what you don't say. Just like how I have a channel on YouTube and people that don't know me have an opinion of who I am based on what I talk about, what I believe, what I feel, what I express. If you've watched me for any length of time, you know that if I'm passionate about something and I don't like something, I will tell you about it. I try to be as gracious as I can. I don't try to be evil, hateful, or petty, but I'll tell it to you straight. and people could watch me and get a pretty good idea about who I am and what I'm about and what I believe. And it's because that's what I've put out there through what I say and the image that I'm projecting. And that's fair. It's fair. But I guess those rules don't apply to her. She can say or do whatever she wants. And if people then come back with a judgment or opinion about what they're seeing, it's hateful and it's unwarranted. Can you explain this to me? Can you please explain this to me? She's supposedly an actress, was a so-called media personality in her own right, as she likes to remind us, before she even got attached to and married Harold and joined the family. She's supposedly so media savvy and a UN activist and a feminist and an advocate and a humanitarian and this and that. And she doesn't know this. She doesn't know that what you put out, people are going to have an opinion of it. And rightly so. It's fair. Okay? It's fair. I'm a small potatoes, tiny YouTube channel. Even I know this. That I'm going to say stuff. I'm going to put it out there and people are going to have opinions. And that's just how it is.
Compartmentalize it and go, oh, right, there is a very, very powerful machine, and it's all about generating income. Mm-hmm. Those stories aren't just appearing because it's fun. Clickbait has a huge financial implication.
Okay, again, you stood to and you did financially gain from that Netflix deal, from that Spotify deal, from all of it. When you trash talked your family for 6 hours straight on Netflix, you made a lot of money. But she's going to point the finger and say that people that criticize her online, that we're just doing it to make money. Actually, I think that most of us out here, we like to talk about stuff and we like to point out stuff that we see that we don't like. And here's why. Because it doesn't align with our beliefs and our values. I think everything that she stands for and says is hateful and divisive. It doesn't align with good Christian values that hold a society together. I believe that she promotes divisiveness. I believe that she promotes toxic femininity. I believe that she is very anti-free speech, her and her husband. And those things are the basis of life, liberty, pursuit of happiness, God-centered society and culture, all of it. So people have a right to speak out against what they think that she stands for. And the damage that she's done to public discourse and the breakdown of communication between people on certain issues can't be underestimated. The damage that she's done in the UK and the Commonwealth to fuel racial division and hatred cannot be understated. That's why people talk about her, plain and simple.
And so if I'm part of an SEO and that gets them more clickbait, then yes, they're incentivized to churn out as many stories, false or damaging or whatnot, to feed the beast because that's paying them. And I think a lot of people...
Okay, so everything she does doesn't pay her though, right? Please.
Forget the economic element of it. And I think from my standpoint, that's why I don't look at it. It would be very hard to see anything about yourself that isn't true. But equally, it's not me that they're talking about. It's some caricature they've had to create to get clicks. And I'm very clear on the difference between the two.
Do you feel
Well, I'm glad she is. She's really not. She thinks she is, but she's not. So this is where we are, you guys. This is where we are. She doesn't see that she's exploiting and monetizing her children. She doesn't see that she's fueling hateful speculation about said children. She doesn't see any criticism of her as measured or reasoned. She's going to continue to do what she's going to do. So this is the loop that we find ourselves in. So expect in the next few weeks, I'm sure she's going to do everything she can to monetize the business, to try to bring more attention to as ever with these summertime posts about enjoying life outdoors. Oh, summer this, summer that, plate this, plate that. This is how well my spread goes with everything you're going to do this summer and my wine. Here's more pictures of the back of my kids' heads, blah, blah, blah. Same old, same old, same old, same old. It is pretty boring. What do you think? Totally boring, totally boring. But again, I'm just reminding you of what I said before. This is all vanity metrics. She might be getting clicks and she might even be getting likes, but it's not translating into money. And that's really what she wants. She wants the money. She wants the money. But I've even said on this channel before, I believe that even beyond the money, what she wants is fame. She wants to be talked about. She wants to be noticed. That's what's more important to her. That's the end all be all here. So we're not going to ignore it because of the distorted and hateful messaging that she's constantly putting out there. It is an evil. It's a grave evil. We can criticize and we can do it in a calm, collected, measured way. We could pray for all involved. We can hope to God and pray to God that she'll stop this, that she'll come to her senses and realize that true privacy at the end of the day means that you don't show us anything about your kids, period. Period. End of story. I'm not even really infuriated at this point seeing this stuff. It's just kind of laughable, but I am worried about those kids growing up and just getting infuriated with her and being like, why did you do this? This was so stupid. Why didn't you just show my face and prove to everyone that I do have a place in this family and that I do belong? Why didn't you just show the birth certificates? Why didn't you have the doctor's signatures on the papers? Why didn't you do? But we'll get all that. We'll get all the answers. We'll get all of that when they grow up and they write their own tell-alls. It's coming, you guys. Believe me, it's coming. So if you like this video, hit like. If you have a hype button, please press the hype button. And thank you for spending time with me. Let me know what you guys think down below. I love you guys so much, and I will talk to you very, very soon. Bye.
Oh, really?